Hello guys, this is FortDefender and welcome back to yet another Pokemon video. Today we're going to be going over the Pokemon Catch formula and how I would improve it or code it myself. So let's jump right in, guys. The current catch formula for Pokemon is a kind of complicated expression, which I'll put up on the screen for you guys to see. I thought to myself, you know what, I think I could code this myself and make it simpler. And I don't know if it's better overall, but I think it's a lot easier to understand, and I think it works a lot better overall. And so my formula that I came up with is CC, which is, in this case, that would be the catch chance, would be equal to HP times the multiplier of the Pokeball you're using, minus your catch chance, which is a random number that's assigned to Pokemon with how likely they are to be caught. I'll explain that in a little bit. Minus E, which is effect. So now I'm going to break down this formula and why I think it's so much simpler. So, HP. The current formula is pretty complex with how it breaks it down. It multiplies it and takes current and total, and I just thought, why not just take the HP percentage you have right now? So I thought to myself, you could start between 1 and 100 and take every 10th number in there. So like every 10th. So like 1.1, 1.2, take all of those up to 100. Because then you'll be able to cover all the HPs potentially for all the Pokemon that can be caught in the game. That was my thought process behind it. Then, the multiplier. I thought that you could do, instead of whatever it does right now, I thought I could do something a little bit similar that would work better for this formula, and that would be, for Pokeballs, you would substitute 2 into there. For Great Balls, 1.5. For Ultra Balls, you would substitute 1. For Pokeballs with 3 times more catch rate, you substitute 0.6. And for Master Balls, you substitute -1. And I'll explain more about that in a little bit when we talk into how the formula works. As for catch chance, I would say that you could do it between 0.5, which would be for legendaries. So you could, the real reason you had it to begin with is because you could only go between 1 and 255 before when you're programming games. That's not really an issue anymore. But I would just do 0.5, between 0.5 and 255 to keep things pretty similar to how they are already. And as for the effect, I would only count freeze and paralysis and sleep as -5. Everything else would just be 0, so you put 0 in there. If anything else, 5 for those ones that I mentioned would fit into the formula. Now, obviously, this is a lot simpler, but there's some things you have to keep in mind when considering it. And one of the things I wanted to do was add a round function in there to get the catch chance back to a nice round number. So it'll be a lot easier when we use a random number generator for our final number, which is Fn. It's our final number. So for the random number generator, you do 1, it'd be 1, and whatever your catch chance was variable, you put that there so you could get a random number. Then I would have it some way where whenever you start an encounter, T or whatever variable, it would be set to 100. Then every time you throw a Pokeball, it would subtract 1 from T. Then you would have 2 random number generators between 1 and T. And if these 2 variables that it corresponded with were equal to each other, it would automatically set your final catch number to 1, which I'll talk about later, but that would automatically catch the Pokemon. I think that'd be really cool to have just a slim chance of a guaranteed catch, and the more you throw, the higher and higher there is of a chance that you just automatically catch it, to the point where you do just catch it, unless it were to struggle to run out of moves, which is much more likely than ever encountering the guaranteed catch. But I think that would just be a nice thing to have, just to make the game a little bit easier. Overall, just simpler. And at the end, I would have something that would be a little like an if statement. Your final number, if it's greater than 1, it would automatically break out. If the final number is equal to 1, which is why I mentioned before that you would have a 1, it would automatically catch. And then this is where the Master Ball comes into play. If your final catch number is negative, then it's a guaranteed catch. So for the Master Ball, it would always catch, because when you look at the formula, it's HP times multiplier minus the catch chance of that Pokemon minus the effect. it would always be a negative number because the HP has to be greater than 0, and then you multiply it by 1. So it would always result in a negative number, and then if you're always subtracting, it would continue to be negative, which would always guarantee the catch. So I thought that was something that kind of worked out really well. Especially, so like if you had a Pokemon that was at 100 HP and you're using a Pokeball, then that would get you a number of, it would be 100. And if it had a 255 catch rate, which is like the highest possible, it'd be negative. It'd be a guaranteed catch, pretty much. So I think it would work a lot better if you did it that way. I mean, that's just me. But yeah, guys, this video was inspired by something I saw from Luxon and Noggin, so just wanted to show programming with Pokemon and how I would interpret writing this code for catching Pokemon. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, I really appreciate if you hit that like and subscribe button. Thanks for watching, guys. Also, guys, something I didn't mention, there would be an if statement before you get your final number random generator. So there would be an if statement, so if the number is greater than 0, then it would go through with the process of coming out with your final number. If it was less than 0, like a negative number, like I said with the Master Ball, it would automatically set your final number to -1, which would always guarantee a catch. That, guys. Hope you enjoyed.